So up until now, we have focused mightily on the character of Ruth and how she has been an absolutely incredible loyal person to her mother-in-law Naomi, to the point that in chapter 2, verse 11, Boaz uses the ultimate compliment and calls her chesed, loyal love. And that's a compliment that is referenced oftentimes when it comes to godliness. And so here is an Israelite man giving this Moabite woman this incredible compliment. So that speaks a lot to the character of Ruth. But now we're going to shift and we're going to take a look at Boaz and the character of Boaz, because he models a lot of characters that we ourselves should look to aspire towards. So we're moving on to chapter 3, starting in verse 1 today. It says, one day Ruth's mother-in-law Naomi said to her, "My daughter, I must find a home for you where you will be well provided for." So obviously at this point, Ruth has been working and pulling loose stuff off the threshing floor and such at Boaz's for a while now. Okay, now Boaz, with those women you've worked, is a relative of ours. Okay, so this is a big deal. So Ruth didn't realize what she was doing. This is yet another example of God's grace. Now Boaz, okay, so tonight he will be winnowing barley on the threshing floor. Wash, put on perfume, and get dressed in your best clothes, and then go down to the threshing floor. Ooh, that's hard to say, threshing floor, but don't let him know you're there until he has finished eating and drinking. And when he lies down, note the place where he is lying, and then go and uncover his feet and lie down, and he will tell you what to do. So you might say, hold on a minute, what is this thing that she's doing, and why is she doing it? Well, there are a number of theories, but the truth is we don't exactly know. And the reason we don't exactly know is because Ruth is actually a pretty ancient book. And as a result of that, there are some traditions that happen and some things that go on that even have to be explained to Israelites that are reading the book. And we'll get to one of those here in a little bit. But apparently what Ruth is doing here is she is by laying at his feet, she is symbolizing submission to him, okay, that she is submitting to him. So this is a pretty key thing. This is a speaking of Ruth character. Now we're going to see how Boaz responds. So Ruth said, "I'll do whatever you say," and she went and did these things. And then in verse 7, when Boaz had finished eating and drinking and was in good spirits, he went over to lie down at the far end of the grain pile. Ruth approached quietly, uncovering his feet, and lay down. In the middle of the night, something startled the man. He turned, and there was a woman lying at his feet. "Who are you?" he asked. So remember, Boaz noticed Ruth previously, but this is in the middle of the night. So this is why the question is such a legitimate question, because it's dark. Remember, they don't have night lights and indoor lighting. It's a dark place. So he's wondering who this woman is. "I'm your servant Ruth," she said. "Spread the corner of your garment over me, since you are a guardian redeemer of our family." So the garment folding over represents I will acknowledge and be a protector of you. So now Boaz shows more of his character. "The Lord bless you, my daughter. This kindness is greater than that which you showed earlier. You've not run after the younger men, whether rich or poor. And now, my daughter, don't be afraid, for I will do all you ask." Now that's a huge statement right there. First of all, I'm sure Boaz thought Ruth was a very beautiful woman because he noticed her earlier. But if you remember, in another story in the Old Testament, in Genesis to be exactly, we have the story of Onan. And Onan was struck down by God. And the reason why he was struck down by God is because he did not want to be the kinsman redeemer. And remember, the kinsman redeemer basically means if someone dies and is married, then it's up to another relative to marry this woman to keep the family line going of the first person that died. But there's also another one that we're going to talk about, and that has to do with the succession of land. And there are a lot of Hebrew customs that we'll be familiar with in a little bit. But Boaz here is saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to step up, and I will be your kinsman redeemer. This is a big statement. This shows a lot of integrity with Boaz, and not only integrity, but also a desire to honor God. If you wondered whether Boaz was a follower of God before, this right here could very well be another demonstration and could be the proof that you need. I mean, first of all, he says, "The Lord bless you," but when he says, "I'm going to do it," he's not only saying, "I'm going to honor her," he says, "I'm going to honor God. And now, my daughter, don't be afraid, for I will do all you ask." And here's another reason why. "All the people of my town know that you are a woman of noble character." And although it's true that I am guardian redeemer of our family, there's another who's more closely related than I. Stay here for the night, and in the morning, if he wants to do his duty as your guardian redeemer, good. Let him redeem you. But if he's not willing, as surely as the Lord lives, I will do it. Lie here until morning." So she laid his feet until morning. She got up before anyone could be recognized and said, "No one must know what a woman came to the threshing floor." Again, not that's we'll talk about that one tomorrow a little bit. But what we have here is Boaz doing everything honorable that he can, including being willing to confess that there's someone else that might have a greater claim. Okay, so we're going to continue more conversations on this tomorrow.